Next is Julia, an archer, thank goodness. Well, Julia's weird, right? Because when you look into her, there's nothing amazing, there's nothing exceptional about her, no matter the overall rating of 4.8, probably because her glasses are the cheapest skin you can get. I think people think she's hot. Deploys an auto crossbow nearby. The crossbow deals damage equal to 80% of the character's physical attack. So 3 crossbows can be deployed. I mean, the speed of this is pretty crazy. Normal skills, everything else is just, 5 times if attack hits same enemy. I mean, everything about Julia just seems normal. She just seems like a normal, average archer. But she's a bit weird because if you use her with your other archers in the statistics, she comes up better than certain archers. So I don't really know what's going on, but if I was to make a guess, it could be the auto crossbow ultimate, where the damage is equal to 80% of the character's physical attack. Now that physical attack was probably the character you're against. So if someone has a super strong physical attack, then maybe she can perform, maybe her crossbow can really take off a lot more than what's normally expected. So she might, if you know someone has a super high attack and a very low defense, is it possible that this is the best unit to use for the DPS? Either way, there are just so many archers and more to come. So how important is Julia gonna be to fit in with all of this? This becomes difficult. But and is she better than is she better than the other archers, like Silver? Is she better? It's really difficult. I'd say yes, she is, but Silver has a buff, so doesn't that make Silver better? This really complicates things a lot. This is we're again facing a situation where I can honestly say her versus Silver is very, very hard. So both of them get to hit this. So in the future, maybe this will need to be addressed. But yeah, these two might be, so these guys might be wrongly ranked in some way. Okay, next. Jenny is considered another archer, even though she throws a boomerang and uses arrows, which is weird. With regard to her, is she just another archer? No. She's excellent. She's an excellent archer. What she has is, and I'm wondering, her awakening, what does it offer as well? So 210 to 240, enemy throw, electrocuting them for 2 seconds. 2 seconds rather than 1. That's 100% increase. This awakening is interesting, I must say. This might work out really, really well. She might be one worth awakening, definitely. Her ultimate skill of electrocuting them for 1 second, which stuns them, is crazy because it can hit so many of them. And yeah, a boomerang in front dealing this. Yeah, so I mean, the damage, attack speed, and movement speed reduction. I mean, the point is her ultimate skill. Her ultimate skill is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I think just because of that feature of electrocution, it makes her important. But at the same time, what about the Amazon's magician soldiers? They can literally do something that's nearly the same. So doesn't that outclass her? Well, it depends how you're going to use it. If you're going to use her with Lena, that would help as well. But remember, Lena's buff does not improve, doesn't speed up. The ultimate skill will normal 1 and 2. But still, this Jenny does cause a huge impact in the game, so she's really good. What level of archer is she? Well, she's definitely not going to come up to... She's close to Lena, but not as good as Kirk's. So let's see where we can put her. Okay, so if she's not as good as Lena, but on another account I must admit she was my Jenny, because the order of 5 stars I did Mercedes, like Seria, not Seria as 1 star, but 6 star, 6, and then 6 for Jenny. Jenny was the one I went for after, so I could have a combination of Lena, Kirk's, and Jenny. So if I go by that calculation, in one respect, in terms of how important someone is, like, she's definitely within the top. She's definitely like the top 6, 7 priority for 6 starring in my mind. Although it could have added some healers. But this is, either way, top 10. Jenny is top 10. If she's top 10, then she's either SS, S or A at the moment. So this is very important to consider. Here we go. Cobbs could be more important than Jenny. It's up to you. This is very difficult. You'll have to consider that for yourself. Okay. This is looking very interesting. Far from what I imagined in my mind. Kurumi. This is a weird one. It's going to be really hard to sum up Kurumi. She's not your typical... She's not typical in many respects. She clearly looks like a summoner, but there's a lot more to her actually. She's even more than that. Like, let's have a look. Generates a magic circle curse on a designated area, dealing damage. Okay, so she's a She's a damage dealer. And reducing magic defense. Enemies that receive damage also take poison damage. Okay, so what is she? She's damage dealer and debuffing in that one, and also a timed attack. Is it? Yeah, poison damage every second. So per second of 60% poison damage. And that's her ultimate. Her ultimate is pretty scary in itself. Dark Flame, normal 1. Launches a curse spell. Distant enemy. The distant one. Similar to Shamak. Dealing 150% magic damage. Casts a curse that reduces HP recovery by 30% and attack speed by 30 for 10 seconds around the target that takes a curse spell. And deals 30% poison damage. Okay, so... it's general. I don't feel it's too strong, but as you can see, this one, which I've leveled up to level 8, this is the point. She's a summoner of a dark soldier that I don't think it's one though that deals damage equal to 170% of her magic attack. So what you need is to upgrade her magic attack, and when it dies, it stays for over 60 seconds. That's crazy. And it deals 770% magic damage before it disappears. Cooldown 60 seconds. I mean, I think she can maybe... My guess is that... I thought she could do more than one. I don't know why I wouldn't have noticed. I thought there was 2. Maybe it summoned 2 Dark Soldiers. So, this is very similar to Panthera. Panthera can also summon, but Kurumi can do other things. But what's so important, again, about Kurumi, unlike Panthera, is that Panthera generally needs to use her ultimate to launch her summons. If Panthera uses her normal skill 2, she has to be at 75% or under. Whereas Kurumi doesn't. She just launches. So, in one respect, she's good because maybe you don't need to focus to have her on your team with her ultimate. You just want to use her for a normal skill. So she won't take up the leader or officer slot. So, very, very important. How to rate her. She's not yet awakened either. But if she could awaken, I don't know if she could buff, if she could end up like improving all that. That could cause a lot of trouble. Okay, let's have a look at how to grade her. It is difficult. It is difficult to give a grade, but again, she's needed on your team. She's definitely A or above. I'd recommend if you want to wait until 40, if you don't want to make like over 1-star units, get her and then you can get Panthera for free. And then she can carry you to level 40 if you can't get there by yourself. Which is possible if you have a Mercedes and lifesteal, you probably could anyway. Anyway, so how good is she compared to all these? Honestly, I like Kurumi more than many of these, and I use Kurumi more often. It's really hard. I'm gonna stick her on the ladder, and she's not SS, but she's S at least. So yeah, right here. I might change it later. Kurumi could. It's really hard. Because it's so hard, and I didn't have to worry about S's with any of those three, Kurumi, for me, is better than all these three. So I think that's important. That's important. It's a big it's a big one. It's a big change. I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. Maybe even for me, Kurumi is so important would be an S, but I had no idea when pulling her that she had that much impact on my games. Like, generally speaking, Arena, she's more than welcome. We keep moving, we keep going forwards, and next we have Grace. Grace is just weird. How many more weirdos can I deal with? She's not weird, it's her magic, it's her moves. I just can't. It's just, she's not a healer. Yeah, she's a support. Take a look. So her ultimate skill places a barrier equal, well, this is a 6-star one. 1 star is like 200. Places a barrier equal to 350 of her magic attack on all units that lasts for 20 seconds. I mean, so 350% of it, so theoretically the stronger her magic attack, then the stronger the barrier, and so, but the problem generally people have is that the magical barrier still gets beaten quite easily. Either way, for this one unit to protect all 19 units, it kind of makes this unit super important. If one unit, so let's say at 350% of her magic attack, let's say we take the strongest staff, let's just stick a strongest one with the strongest magic attack, all damage, this increases by 10%, so that's a magic attack of 55, and that one's got a magic attack buffs of double 15. Magic attack 55 plus 10%, I'll probably use that one. So let's say I stick that one on, done. So then we have a magic attack of 277, we get out the calculator, you know, and we do 277, so we do 277 times, is it times or plus 350%? We'll find out in a minute. So 300, so it should block in the 20 seconds, each person should have 969 blockage. So if they're being attacked maybe with a magic attack of 300, so maybe three hits of a normal attack, that's not even including buffs and stuff. So let's say in general, if you include people's like other moves, it will probably protect you for one hit, definitely, most likely one hit of magic, and 2 if you're lucky. So the first hit. Now, what does that mean if it protects you? And this is complex. It doesn't protect you from the stuns and everything else probably, but this is interesting. But even being protected by one hit is still kind of worth it for one unit, but that is one unit who's taking up your leader position. It's really complex here, really complex. But the advantage comes back every like 30-second cooldown, and she recovers HP, but it's only of one unit, but the cooldown's every 4 seconds, so it's a weird heal, you know. It's just like every 4 seconds for one unit, whereas like other healers are doing everyone in a circle. So this recovery, calling her a healer is a joke. Removes CC or debuffs from one unit, granting immunity for 5 seconds. I mean, some of this is nice, but I generally don't see areas where people are using her. But honestly, after reading it again, I mean, I lost faith in her for a while, but I'm thinking maybe Grace is a lot better than I thought, even though it's one hit, but it's everyone. It's like Alus, you know. Although Alus only gives like his buffs are small, but he gives them to everyone, and that is, it doesn't matter who they are. That's very important. So Grace is definitely one of the most difficult ones to place. I have to place her on a question mark. Ideally, in the greater stream world, she'd seem like the best one, and she'd protect you from everything, and everything would be great. But she isn't like that at all, really. Later on, at the beginning, she's brilliant, but later on, I don't think she's giving enough. How good is she? So the question is she an S, A, or B? Is she better than Shamak? Would I use her more than Shamak? Maybe yeah, maybe no. This is too hard to. She's a B, I guess. High B or low B? She's more special than these 4. So, yep. Okay, so move them along. Have to fix those guys up. So hard doing it like this. Tier Maker was hard to use, so I didn't. Tier Maker. Tier. Like he's speaking Chinese now. Been in Asia for too long. Okay, so that's where Grace is going, and I'm taking her off the question mark. I think that's where she's staying for a long time. Unless she surprises me, putting her back. Okay, that is Aisha. Okay, an unusual unit, but one of the most important units if you're free to play and you're running the Amazon team. If you're running the Amazon team, she's important because of her faction skill. or it shouldn't attack by 20%. Magic attack by 20. Oh, because it's level 11. Sorry, it should have been, yeah, should have been by 10%, but I've upgraded that one, so it saved it. So the point being is, yeah, okay, she can get you an improvement of up to 20%, and that 20% actually does mean like magic attack 14 multiplied by whatever 20%, and it'll be 20% of that. But with great gear, that 20% is actually worth a lot. Those 20% are worth a lot, whereas some like 20% on movement speed mean nothing, it seems, or very limited, very little. So keep that in mind. However, she's a bit weird with regard to her ultimate skill. It only heals 100% of the magic attack every second. That's 100%. Does that combine with the faction skill? I believe so. So that there's a good side to that. But 100% is very low. Again, 100% lower than Lavia's, 200% lower than Aria's. So this unit poses a bit of a problem. Reduces their range damage. So it reduces their range damage by 10% and increases ranged evasion by 10%. So this offers a different style, not just healing, but a kind of defending. It's hard to know whether this is beneficial, but what is beneficial is her normal skill 1. Throws magic orbs to a damaged ally unit, recovering their HP by 300 of her magic attack. Nearby allies receive half. So the problems with her ultimate are fixed with her normal skill. Now this gives a new problem. It means that actually having her as a leader, having her as the main person, because you want her faction skill, it's a bit sad because her ultimate skill isn't so good, but her normal skill is very good. So there's some complications with using Aisha. Calling her a real healer sometimes makes things difficult as well, especially when you have like proper dedicated healers like Lavia and Aria, etc. So this healer is really troublesome, but you still have to run her. You probably don't have any choice. If you have Amazon units, she's your first boss, and she's going to give that faction skill. So hope that helps clear things up. But you know, she still doesn't feel like a completely real healer, but she is. Just not the way I wanted it to be. I just wanted her ultimate to be more powerful. I just find it hard to accept the normal one. Either way, she's one of, I guess she qualifies as one of the main healers. But if I was to pull her without the faction, without using Amazon magicians, then it's hard. She'd be in the middle of here. But then again, you're all going to end up using Amazon units, I guess, if you're free to play. So S it is. She might even be more important than, yeah, I think for free to play, that's how important she is. Everyone's going to be against me and say just put her as an S, but if you're running Amazon, she's there. So I'm going to do something. I wanted to put it in the middle of both. Again, calling her an SS is a bit extreme, because it's extreme because she just doesn't seem to have enough heal by herself to heal everyone. But maybe the others wouldn't either, but it's just, the others can do a lot more. I can't be sure about that. Can she? Let me check if she can be awakened yet. So she's not yet able to be awakened, but I think her potential is S to SS because of that 20% magic attack boost she can give to her whole team. Because you're going to run you're going to run magicians with her. You'll find out later. if you don't run magicians at all, if you ran no Amazon magicians, then she'd fall to an A probably, or a SA perhaps. Hope that helps. Next we have is Seria, I believe, my favourite. So she's from the Jackan group, and she fires ice. I even stuck an arrow on her. I shouldn't have done that. Better take that off. But it's not just that. I even got the summoner's bow on her, and yeah, this bow's interesting. Fires an arrow, dealing like some extra damage, but freezing them for 3 seconds. Now you'd think that's really good, but I've used it and it's unnoticeable. I didn't notice 3 seconds at all, so it's a bit of a waste, that weapon, when I think about it. Either way, so ice arrow, yeah, dealing 400% physical damage, freezing them for 10 seconds, causes an explosion after, slow. I mean, she seems to offer everything. She seems to offer the world. A world of ice. I mean, I've upgraded normal skills here, and so reducing target's movement speed and all this. I mean, she's just not making an impact no matter what I do. I mean, I even 6-starred her and I just can't. She's just not producing. I mean, she can't even be awakened. Come on, what is up? What is up with this unit? Like, and even if she can be, when the time comes for her to be awakened, can she have a Kirk's ability and maybe not just hit one target? But even if she hits more than one target, I still don't know if it will be enough. So, Seria, mention that when her units attack frozen enemies, they'll deal an additional 30% damage. So, but how many enemies will she freeze? I mean, that's the only buff she offers. I mean, it's quite important to see that some people are confused about the importance of her buff. I really wanted Seria to work. I'm still working on her. I will figure out a build. I will make a build that will make her suitable. I don't know how though, but I just want to make sure she works. But where can she go? Is she, I guess the key is she better than Julia? And the amount of effort I've put into her and the amount that I haven't got back makes her worse than Julia. So, is she worse than Creon? I'd say at the beginning, no, but Creon will be better later. So meaning that for a free to play, she can not take the B. She'll take a C, but reaching C is going to be like not very easy because I have to move them all. I think I found a way though. How about if can I move them like that? Yep. Now that is not bad. Is she better than all of them? Not completely, but you got to think, if you're having like a bunch of archers, if you had 4 archers on a team, she'd probably be the last of the 4 at this rate. Don't know, I can't remember who else. Anyway, this is looking interesting. Next, we have Devs the healer. Devs is a special one. Not only does she like heal, like if we look here, she can restore 400% for all the allies, like in her little block. But she removes debuffs, and she causes 400% magic damage to nearby enemies, reduces their healing effect. What the amount of healing, debuffs, buffs, like, well, removing debuffs, I'll call that buff. That ultimate makes Devs extremely special for a healer, because she's a good healer who can do other things. Like, in one respect, when it's time to awaken her, what can they offer? What's her normal skill? Let's see. recover HP of one unit, okay, one unit by 380% magic attack, increasing physical, magic, and attack speed by 38%. So not only a heal, but a buff. That is great because the cooldown is pretty small. And what about the normal too? Immune to CC attacks, duration 10 seconds. I mean, she could, like, you know, she has the possibility of going beyond the healer and literally like having debuff status. I mean, she's very special, very, very special. And again, she's like the major three. The major three are Lavia, Aria, and Devs. These were like the first main three healers. Celia's is not included because she's not really healing. Her resurrection is just like on another level. But Devs is one of the three main healers. In my mind, Aisha is not. She is as good as them, but there's something she's missing. Like, I think her area is just not big enough of healing. And maybe the cooldown of Aisha is not good enough. I can't remember, but the three main healers I do classify as Devs being included. This means that you need to pull Devs as well. And although Aisha is going behind them, again, if your main faction are Elves, you is Amazon, you need to go for her. It's not only that. It's not just that as well. You probably do need as many healers as possible, so you'll have to pull her anyway in the end. It's just the order of healers are like this, and can you really just keep pulling healers without going for these? You'll have to make the decision yourself. But along the way, the healers are a huge priority. Okay, hope that helps. So let's talk about Lean, which is a stupid name. So Lean is a melee unit, high DPS. You can see with her ultimate skill, she rapidly stabs the enemy in front, dealing 350 physical damage every 0.5 seconds 8 times. So in 0.5 seconds she can cause that damage 8 times, but there's a cooldown of 15 seconds. This is interesting and might work quite well with a lifesteal ring. I haven't tried the lifesteal ring yet. And with a wide swing of a spear, deals 500% physical damage to nearby enemies, spinning them. The spinning will be like a control effect, so it will be a CC. So that could, but for how long? Probably not long. Probably just like Mercedes. Increase your spearman unit's efficacy or efficiency by 10% for 15 seconds. So this is where people say, oh, putting her with Michael is good. This is, I don't know. Yeah, but how much of that is important? How much of her stats do you need to keep boosting up to make it worth it? How like, why is it that she's just like a second-class Mercedes? And why is it that for her to do that move for her to do her ultimate where she's doing that, she has to get so close to the enemy? She can't get close to them, she's going to die. She dies so quickly. It's not like someone's going to stand there and say, hey, come, I'm waiting, come on, come here. Oh, boom, oh, someone comes from the corner and just smacks her in the head. It just is just impractical. This unit's ultimate is ridiculous. So, because you can't get it through. If we had a teleporter in this game, and the teleporter could move the unit into somewhere, this unit would be useful, you know. So we have a very big problem. I would even say Aaron, unfortunately, has more use than this one, which shouldn't be the case. This unit, if there was no Mercedes, this unit would probably be the best we have. So we're in a very... This unit creates a lot of problems. It was kind of a waste making the unit. But we still need more units for Arena. We still need additional units because we still have like teams of 60. So she'll definitely need to be on the team. But yeah, this is a situation we have. I think finally, again, her buff is not bad because it's only for 15 seconds. But at the same time, it's... If units efficacy at 0%. I mean, we've had Tester 3 look into that, and I don't think he thinks I don't think he even thinks the developers have probably done a good enough job making that work within the game. So I'm not sure having efficacy does anything. I'd like if anyone's like actually made a video where they can show how much this 10%, what this means and what happens exactly. I'd be quite interested to see. Okay, so Lean, or better they call her Leanne. So Leanne would be great if she could get closer to the opponent or be protected very well. So generally speaking, I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going to say she's not so good. And we have Mercedes. With Mercedes, yeah. So if there was no Mercedes, she could be an A, or she could even be an S. If there's no Mercedes, perhaps. But we have Mercedes. She drops completely. Does she become an A, a B, or a C? I wouldn't be so bad. I mean, probably give her a B. Maybe some people will think that's a bit rude. I don't know. Should she be better than Grace? Most people would definitely want her more than Grace, but you know what? Is she even better than Aaron? This is a big one. Is she better than Aaron? You know, I don't. Even if there was Awaken for Lean, I wouldn't go for her. But Awaken for Aaron, yeah. Pushing up Aaron, yeah. So I'm going to change it. Yeah. In fact, it's going to be very different. I'm gonna change that around. I want Aaron in front of Lean, and I want her here. Maybe she should go in front of Shamak, but honestly, I want the magicians first. There, so that's this is quite a huge change. Far from what I expected. I would have normally thought Lean will go higher, but it just doesn't make sense when you look into it. In terms of priority, no. Next we have the Werebeasts, the more newer factions, and we have Sean, which is the name of a girl, but it's a male fox. So not much is said about him. I upgraded him to 6-star. I felt like it was quite important to look into him, and yeah, he runs into the enemy, he can hit them, and he apparently is supposed to like return to his initial position, but he can still get hit. It's not like something as crazy as what Mercedes does. So again, because Mercedes can jump in and out of a fight and do it so much better, it makes him not as good. And you know, Mercedes can do like I think 1,000 each way. So again, how important is this? Reduces the HP recovery effect of hit enemies by 60% for 10 seconds. I mean, this all helps, you know, but how much does it really help? Charges at the enemies and slashes all of them on the way, dealing 200%. Recovers HP by 3% when you successfully down enemies with this skill. 3% down enemies with this skill. If there's survival mode, I mean, yeah, maybe in the like Infinite Wars or whatever it's called, maybe it's good for that. And when your HP drops to 70% or less, increases your swordsman units physical defense and magic defense by 10%. The thing is, if it increased it by more, maybe, yeah, if I upgrade it, if I enhance that, then yeah, that should increase, I guess, hopefully, but probably only reach like 20%, 20. Need to look more into that. It could work out. I mean, if these swordsmen got together and buffed each other with Zenus and Shan and Yarogash, maybe together they would have something better, maybe better than a cavalry unit. I don't know, but he's still not good enough to make a big impression. How to rank this Shan is going to be quite difficult, but if I don't think he's as good as Zenus, I didn't really want to put him as a C though, but I prefer Zenus's buff. Maybe some people won't, because they'll think, oh, he's a new unit. We should you know, I don't know. So let's kind of, yeah, I can do it like that. Okay, so what my plan is to, yeah, I'm gonna pull something away. So honestly, I think Arel is better than him. Damn it, this is really complex. So honestly, I prefer Arel to Sophie. Anyway, I'll just put it in anyway, just to make the world easier. It's a shame that the new meta sucks. I don't know what's going to happen here, but maybe in the future, swordsman will be worth something. Who knows? Next. So let's talk about Bella next. Another cav unit. Thank God, the final cav unit. So with regard to this unit, yeah, she's not strong like every other cav unit. You can't. Well, Arrow's quite good, but you can't just put her by herself. She might not last long. But with a team, yep, fine. Just, you know how it is. But her ultimate skill's very, very unusual. Very unusual. Has Sand Soldiers charge forward to knock enemies back, dealing 600 physical damage and reducing their movement speed by 90%. So yes, it's a low damage, but reducing the movement speed, I mean, that's very interesting. If you reduce their movement speed and she was followed by slower warriors behind you, I mean, this could cause a lot of trouble, to be honest. Like, she might really, this move could specifically help in many situations that we're not even prepared for yet. So that's the first thing. Charges at the enemy and deals 250% physical damage and stun them for 3 seconds. Okay, so cooldown 20. It's a bit troublesome. It's good against 1, but now normal 2, very interesting. Increasing your cavalry's ranged evasion by 10% for 20 seconds. Immune to CC for 10 seconds. Now, immune to crowd control is very interesting, but what is really crazy is this ranged EVA by 10%. I've seen this in action, and what I saw was I'm sure is a bug, and I never, like, that 10% was crazy. I mean, in fact, it says ranged, like, evasion. I mean, ranged evasion should be theoretically, from my point of view, is to be able to evade, and for every 10 arrows you can, like, evade 1. But this was completely different. I think this is so bugged that it can allow her to take all the cavalries and speed them up, like, to a crazy level. So you have to look into that. But because of that bug, she's really good with a bunch of cavalry units. So extremely dangerous. So in general, you'd think, yeah, she's kind of like by herself doing stuff. You know, she can only do like a ranged evasion by 10%. And if there's no CC, why would you need her? But actually, if this bug continues, the bug I believe I'm looking at, this is really going to be, yeah, for me, she's going to be the best with regard to getting cavalry of that lot. Even though maybe Vikal may be better after awakening, etc. But then that's the same for Sophie. But Vikal with the weapons and soul weapons. Where to put Bella? I'll just put her higher. She's either worth a B or an A. It's hard. I prefer Seria to her, so. I'll just put her here to stop some people crying. Does she have potential? Yeah, a bit of potential. Does she have more potential than Vikal? I don't think so. I think Vikal could be very special. Something like that. Okay, so we're getting somewhere now. So we're having this kind of chance to push them higher than they are if you work on them properly, which is going to be hard. Next is Shasha, who is Sasha, who is Zaza. Get these names right. So what to say about Shasha? What to say about her? She's powerful. She's good. This ultimate skill of the sandstorm, you can see when you're playing the game, if you use it, you can see how many enemies have this red thing swirling around them. It's caused by her, and although the magic damage is not much, I think the point is that, yeah, it lasts for 5 seconds. Wait a minute, so that is 100% damage every second. That's different. Hit by the sandstorm, reduce their normal attack range, and the second layer is active for 5 seconds, so dealing 100% damage. So it's dealing ideally 800% damage to each person, which is not bad considering it's a lot of them. The thing is, it's distant enemies, so we have a problem here. If she was to hit distant enemies, but there's no one to protect her in front of her, this is a big problem. Because generally you'll just be thinking, oh, she's going for all of them, but no, she's doing distant enemies. So this could be an issue with looking after her. This foxy trick about turning them into a fox with no attack abilities. This is what I thought was the antidote to Mercedes, but don't know. It didn't really. I didn't notice such any major point. I thought as soon as anyone got into the territory, she'd be able to stop them, but nothing amazing. Increases your magic attack by 50%. So for 15 seconds if your HP is 80% or higher. So if you keep her HP strong, she will keep her attack up. So I'm guessing pairing her with a healer, keeping a healer near her and making sure a tank like Kremhild is in front of her will ensure that everything can go very well. So that's the start for preparing your team. Yeah, she can get so many people, so wow, amazing. As a magician, how important is she? Well, I can only say she's very important. Is she an A, an S, or an SS? It's going to be it's going to be very, very hard. So I'm going to say, because she's quite good even from the beginning, that makes it free to play friendly, and she's going to help you push further in many quests. So I think she's got more to offer in general than Shamak, even though if you're clever enough, I think Shamak could take you further than anyone. But so she's definitely A or S. Where she is, I can't be sure. Again, she's this is going to be weird. I think I will keep her as an A. Maybe not. Maybe not. No. No, I feel she's too important. She's important. She's going to be an S. The low S, but still important. Okay, finally. The last but not least, Tori, Milky, whatever they want to call her. So she's considered a healer, but at the same time, she's a summoner. Her ultimate skill summons a Toto King. It heals allies by 81% of magic attack every 2 seconds and reduces their melee damage, which is interesting, received by 48%. That's at 5-star. I'm going to say that reduction is pretty high. The Toto King deals 90% of Tori's magic attack. It heals, kind of like debuffs, not debuffs, but it buffs and attacks. And that's not even her. That's just the Toto King. Next, summons Toto Help. Summons 2 units of Toto that heals an ally by 36% of their magic attack or places a barrier every 5 seconds. Each Toto deals 36% of Tori's magic attack. Maximum summons 6. When you see those things bouncing, they're just causing trouble. And when you see how powerful these things are, I think this thing can reach like 150, maybe, is it 15,000, I think. These things are powerful. And mutation turns a single enemy that attacks you into a Toto that cannot attack for 10 seconds. So exactly the same as the other unit. I haven't yet noticed it, but this is crazy. But what kind of healing is this? I would say this healing is a bit unusual. But if there were 6 Totos healing 36% of the magic attack, and the magic attack is, let's say the magic attack is 247 and they're healing just a bit of that. I mean, is it in percentage? Yeah, okay, let's just say it's 36% of 247. Then, yeah, gonna heal about, let's say they just do 80%. I don't know, a healing of 80%. With a number of them. It could work on a number of people. The healing might be very, very special. I've watched them, but not for long enough. But what I really like is this Toto King. He is a great summon, and he's better in one respect. He's better than Kurumi. I think that's her name. So to finish off, if her summon is better than Kurumi's, and this summon can heal, even though Kurumi's can, get rid of CC, it's just that so much of Tori seems broken that the Toto King is just so strong, and you're getting lots of healing, and she can still make 6 of these other things that will heal you up. And because there are other buffs and other things in the melee, it's just... this is crazy. It's just... This unit is just broken. I know they're going to fix it, because they said they're going to change it. So for a start, it's going to hit here, because in the next few weeks, they're going to probably fix it. Because this unit is just not working. It's just like, it's too ridiculous. But where can it go? Is it better than Panthera? Panthera can just blast out more of them, so I prefer... but Panthera cannot heal. You might be in a situation where you need someone to do all of it. If healing is important as well as summoning, then she's clearly better than Kurumi and Panthera. So it depends on your needs, but the Toto King is strong as well. He's really strong. It's hard to know where to put her, but it could have, it might have been an SS, but it's a hard one. It's a hard one to finish off. I feel if I give her SS, it will, the game will change. So I'll pop it like that. I'll give her an S for now. Or will I? Damn it, I can't come to a conclusion on this one. But I know her heal's crazy, her attack causes a lot of problems. I'm moving her up. Even if they reduce a certain buff, she can still stay there. No, she's broken. Don't know what they're thinking. Anyway. There, she's part of the meta. Ta-dang. Didn't think it would take this long. That was hard. I'll look at this once I calm down and get used to the world. But this is something. It's like a masterpiece. It's like I didn't think it would reach this. I didn't think I could get here. Tori will come off. That. Are there changes I want to do? Probably. Am I happy with Alusa A? That will probably be one of the biggest problems for many people. But you'll have to watch the beginning and see why he's so important. He can go back here just in case. But no, his importance in normal 2. He can't be underestimated. So, thank you everyone. Thank you for anyone who joined. Thank you for anyone who watched it all and got to learn about the heroes. And now you have a more informed idea of what you want to do. I will try and update more information on how to improve your money, how to make your everything improve in the game. So, all the best. Club Wisdom 8, absolutely and utterly dead.
welcome to the final part of Club Wisdom 8's ranking. Enjoy.